And let's add in some more gatherers now too. And let's get a hunting lodge. Yeah, normally I wouldn't like put so many hunting lodges, but you know, they don't cut too much into the production and of well, you know, like they cut out a little bit of production for logs, but oh, check it out. Okay, let's pause. Nomads have arrived at the town hall. So basically, every so often, you can see I have satisfied the conditions for nomads at our trading post, even though it's not built. So all you have to do is go here and you click on nomads, and let's see, 14 nomads want citizenship. Ooh, I want these nomads because I want to build my population pretty quickly. I am worried about how low our food supply is getting because that's 14 more mouths to feed. And nomads, when they come in, you know, not all of them are workers. They're families. So, you know, this, let's see, it's 14 nomads. Probably about half of those are children. So we'll probably only get like 7 to 9 extra laborers out of that. We'll actually confirm that. Because I am going to allow it. This is a risky move, especially with food supply kind of dwindling. I need to really get on building out these other two hunter and gatherer places. I might need to add in like 2 or 3 more even. Hopefully just to get enough food supply coming in. And I'm going to need to do that quickly. So fortunately it looks like I'm glad we didn't build the church immediately because we need to save that stone up just for this task. But I'm going to go ahead and allow them. So let's allow them, and oh wow, I was completely wrong about that. It looks like almost all of them were workers. Usually it's kind of a mix of workers, children, but yeah, never mind. Apparently I was wrong. They're almost all laborers, which is a good thing. It means that thanks to that, we'll have people who can actually go out and help get food. So that's a good development. Now let's look at our overview. Homes 59, families 70. We're clearly now we're behind on houses, which is fine. I can maybe unpause some of these guys and get them built, especially the ones near all these kind of blacksmith and all that. So let's go ahead and do that. One pause like 3 here. And I'm going to add in some more forester nodes because it's honestly the main way that we make food, and we are pretty desperate for it. I'm also wondering if maybe there's another decent fishing hole. Let me look around. I mean, way up here, but that's kind of far. Yeah, the more of those we can find, the better. Because they produce a pretty good amount of food. Like, if you click on this, you know, like 900 to 1,000. One thing I'm kind of curious about is apparently fishing yields, like they were meant to kind of slowly go down over time. I haven't observed that. They tend to reach a certain point based on the area that they can fill in, and then just kind of, you know, you'll have some, it'll go up and down a little bit, but you don't see like a big fishing crash, at least in my experience. So I think that was a feature that Luke wanted in the game, but never quite figure out how to add. I wonder, we maybe can get a fishing hole here. I don't know if it's flat enough. Let's try it though. Yeah, I guess we can. If it's going up that way. That's okay. It's not going to be as efficient as some of the other ones. But consider the only other thing I could try is I could put here, which would actually be pretty good, but then I need to build a bridge, which will cut out a little bit in how much it produces. Well, actually, yeah, I see a place we can build a bridge. We'll put that in here and get going on that, get our storage and all that taken care of. I'm going to put it this direction. I think that has a nice effect. Kind of vary them up a bit. You don't have to like put them all like completely in the same direction and whatnot. So I think I can actually get either a bridge. Well, it's gonna have to be here, so we'll have this kind of hug and then go over. So let's go ahead and put that bridge in. And again, I just want it to be as little as it can. If I scoot over 1, it might use less. Yeah, it uses way less. Cool, cool. Just to kind of be efficient with how we use. I'm gonna add a little extra dirt road because I guarantee they're gonna want to cut that corner anyway. So, where was the end of this one? I don't remember. I'm just gonna leave that for now. We'll connect this up eventually. Did we put in any homes? No. Let's do that as well. And this fishing hole, it should. Oh dear. Every time I rotate it, it kind of makes it difficult to get it back. That's one thing, like with games where you can rotate like this. I wish that there was a button like reset rotation, so you can have it lined up exactly how you had it before, instead of having to sort of eyeball it. I want to say we're kind of like that. Yeah, that'll be good enough. Because like one game that's really notoriously bad at that is Tropico. Like, oh my goodness, if you accidentally rotate, you can never get it to look like how it used to look, and it drives me crazy because you get used to your town looking kind of a certain way, and then when it rotates, right? No, it can be kind of a hassle. So he's getting kind of far from the firewood crews, but I guess we're gonna have to just deal with it. I might put in like a foresting node down here to support that with firewood. It's not a bad idea actually. Hopefully that will help a bit with food though. Otherwise, putting maybe a note around here. Now we have an inconvenient. The whole like story of this place is just, inconvenient hills and stuff. I mean, maybe a note could fit in there, but it will be, we're losing a bit to these hills. And there's actually, it's kind of hard to see, especially with it being rainy out right now. But right here, there's also a hill. Let's leave it running at like 5 times. Now see, all these guys are homeless, but they're just gonna. Well, actually, this might be filled. Yeah, I think it might be filled. So they're gonna be homeless until we get another home built. But you see, like all these people who are living in here. And yeah, I'm surprised, not many children, just 2. Normally you get a more even spread of kids, but it's fine. I mean, they got all the food they need. But you see, like, we took a hit on food, and we will continue to do that for a bit. Since it's late summer, and I do worry about, what do these need? Stone, they have everything they need. It's just kind of a matter of, I'm gonna pump up the builders. Just kind of, yeah. Well, we'll do it like that. That should speed along some of this building, because I don't want them to be homeless, and with winter coming around. So, 12 of 20. We're gonna start getting some more old age deaths. I do want to get another graveyard going, and I might kind of put it like in here somewhere. Like I might. Now, typically, during medieval times, the tallest building and the first thing you would see as you're walking towards the town was like the cathedral. So maybe having the cathedral a little bit not centrally located, but on the outskirts. I do need a cemetery, and I kind of wish that the base game had a bit more variety when it comes to certain things, like adding in extra types of buildings. Like instead of having just one kind of church, they could have had like a smaller one and a big cathedral or something. But oh well, for all its faults, it's still a really well done game. Let's unpause this. I need to get it built, because I'm pretty desperate for food at this point. Look how quickly I'm going through my stockpiles. That is not good whatsoever. Do we have any more Gathers. Nah, they're still working on building it. Well, they're getting there. They're getting there. It's just all these kids being born is a problem, especially because we have no farms. Typically, when you admit like nomad groups in, honestly, what I do at that point is find an area that has been cleared for farmland and just clear cut and plant it. How are we doing on homes? It looks like we don't have any more homeless, so that's good. Largely because most of them are probably in this boarding house waiting to move into other areas. Let's see. Families and homes. Yeah, we definitely need more homes. So I think the few we have queued up, though, will work out. So it's kind of a matter of, I'm going to crank up the speed, honestly, and wait for them to build out some of these things. I'm hopeful that with this and with this other little fishing hole that it'll end up just kind of helping. So I kind of want to put a tunnel in, maybe like going this way. I don't know. I should figure out where I'm putting the mines and everything too. Maybe in here. That's a pretty good wide flat stretch. We could do like a quarry. I don't know. I kind of think quarries always have little retention ponds and stuff. Kind of like when they get older, they fill it with water. So I don't know. Maybe we'll put it near this little lake. Since we can't really build much in that corner anyway. Now the thing about quarries is once you put them in, they never go away. They're going to be there till the end of time. And unfortunately, you know, they'll give you a good number of stone for a period of years, but eventually they do run out. And it kind of sucks. You know, you'll be stuck with this big old quarry that isn't really doing anything for anybody. So it's a real shame. Yeah, firewood's still low. I mean, okay, we can get more gatherers, which is good. I want to start evening out our food supply. Let's see. We'll go ahead and assign the foresters too, because we're not keeping up with logs that well. And our food is really, really dropping. That's not good. Let's take out our paving tool, see if we can find some efficiencies just in our paving. Okay. That's fine then. What about if we go down here? Yeah, that'll get better once this house is... Or are those like laborers or whatever? I don't know what they do. But once we get this house built, I think that'll start... Eventually that'll fix that issue, so... And down here... Okay, so that's a very long way for the laborers to walk, and it's because we don't have this bridge built. What's holding it back? Stone. We have a store. I think it's just honestly so far from any place that stone is stored that the laborers aren't doing a good job of carrying it out there. So slowly but surely, though, we're building towards kind of fixing this little crisis we're in with food, but it's gonna be a near thing. Okay, we definitely need more graves as well. Well, yeah, it's been kind of an interesting episode. Obviously, we're gonna have some issues with food if we don't resolve some things. So I'm hopeful that putting in these extra fisher dudes and just in general, I'm gonna prioritize this bridge because it's inefficient if they're walking all the way around. They should be able to cut through there. So anyway, I think that this is a good call. This is a fairly good long episode. I hope folks who were following our Strat Mechanics series aren't too disappointed. I'm definitely going to come back to it, but kind of my idea is I'll do like a season 1, and that'll be sort of the creative mode, early access stuff we were doing, and I'll jump in at season 2 once they come up with, once they come up with a. Let me just remove these structures because they're distracting me. like survival mode, and survival mode, that'll be our season 2, and that's what we can focus on after that. So it's just something to keep in mind. But if I can figure out how to record, I'll definitely do some more recording. I want to like finish up the little base we started, and in general, yeah. See, it looks like we finally fixed clear cutting all this, and all this has fixed our issue when it comes to how are we going to get enough firewood. So, yay. Although now I'm worried about the iron, so as well as our diminishing pile of graves. I'm gonna pause it, but yeah, I promise. Like, if I can fix whatever issue I'm having, it just 3D3 is. It happened after the last hotfix where they were fixing a glitch that was causing a lot of lag, and I'm not sure how they did that exactly, but it seems that when I record a video, it comes out corrupt and it has no timestamp. It's just with Scrap Mechanic, and it's associated with when I go and exit out of the game, it doesn't exit out properly. It's like it still has an instance of it running, and it corrupts the file. So if I can figure out a workaround to that, like some way for that to not be an issue, then I'm gonna do some more videos. But in the meantime, you know, I've been trying all week. I did like 6 hours of recording and lost all of it to this bug. So I'm thinking it's, what are you gonna do? You know, there's only so much you can do. And I also had an idea for going forward with the series. Like, I'm gonna finish out the base we started, but I might not do like a long Let's Play show. What I'll probably end up doing is switching more to a 10-15 minute videos that are showcasing just an interesting invention I put together. So that's kind of my take on it. I think that will it'll ultimately actually, I think that'll be a bit more appealing to some folks, because I know a lot of people enjoy my inane discussions and babble, but some people just want to, you know, hop in and watch a quick video of some cool thing getting built. So that might be like what we do in the interim while we wait for a survival series or to be available to us. So it's kind of like just waiting on a patch. I guess it's ultimately like what we're dealing with. So anyway, that's kind of my plan for that. I'm also kind of eager to. There are a few other video games that I really just adore and would love to have a chance to showcase, as well as I want to have a little bit of time to work on. I have some ideas regarding. I'm actually. Why do this? Why chatter? We're gonna need more wood, I think. So I'm gonna just assign that to happen. Eventually, we might replant out here, but for now, I'm pretty surprised that we even had like a wood crisis to begin with. But I think we're through it now. It seems like we're hitting the limit on firewood, and we're doing okay. So that's a good thing. But yeah, moving forward, I would like to do. There's a couple ideas I have for series. One of them is I love to do an Ark Survival Evolve series. I'm a big fan of dinosaurs. I'm kind of geek about it, and I think it'd also be like it's a challenging game, and it's quite interesting, a lot of fun, and just the whole notion of, you know, it's almost a survival horror game, like being stuck on Jurassic Park or whatever. So I think it'd be like a really interesting and fun series to do. So there's that. There's also I'd like to do a series on either Endless Legend or Warlock 2: The Exile, because I really like the fantasy genre and, you know, magic and sorcery and all that. I really like 4X games, and I'm kind of debating which one to do. I might jump into Warlock 2 because I've beaten Endless Legend several times. I've never made it through a full game of Warlock 2, and I think the main reason is like you tend to get to a point where the AI it kind of ends up getting a little cheaty on you. Like, it'll start throwing monsters at you that you can't possibly deal with. Um, but it's kind of interesting because of that, and I'd like to actually beat a game of it. So I think yeah, we'll do like a Warlock 2. Maybe even both. I'd like to play a little bit of the expansions that they put out for Endless Legend. So that's something else to keep in mind. Um, and then in addition to that, I've been really wanting to do kind of a straight, almost like a lecture series. And my idea for it was I wanted to do a lecture series kind of showcasing how to do game design development. Now, the challenge of that is I really am kind of an amateur at programming and an amateur at just graphics generation. I mean, honestly, my best graphics right now are kind of the little pixel art stuff, like what you see on the header of my YouTube channel. And that's fine if you're going for kind of a nostalgic look to it, but ultimately I'd like to do like a really good looking 3D strategy game of some kind. Not like a real time strategy and not a turn-based. My idea was basically sort of 4X game, but instead of it being turn-based, it's more a real time. So like a real time 4X. And I'd love to start develop that and kind of run you guys through the ropes, but to be honest, it's a little bit beyond what I know how to do at this point. So initially, I'm going to focus more on world building and sort of more on the game design aspects, stuff that people can do even if they don't have a programming background, even if they're not familiar with 3D modeling, even if they're maybe your art isn't good. Maybe you just you haven't practiced a lot or you don't have much talent in that area. That's fine. You can definitely design games that have simplistic art. I mean, look at Minecraft. The art is really general and simplified intentionally, and it's an interesting aesthetic choice. So you don't have to feel hindered in game design if you don't be sitting there thinking, oh, I'm not the best artist. I can never compete with all these big name developers who have just spectacular artwork and a really story driven. I'm not a good story writer. You can design a game regardless of that, but kind of what I was thinking is I'd start off almost with world building and talking about how you can come up with interesting landscapes and interesting settings for your video game. And then maybe branch out from there, do like a lecture on character development, just kind of like build a whole series around the idea of, hey, I'm an amateur, let me tell you some things I've learned, and if you're an amateur too, that's fine. Anyway, just an idea I'm kicking around my head. Now, for that though, it's almost like a podcast format, I guess. Like I had some ideas how I could have just artwork that I've found that I can put up, but that gets tricky because I mean I can put some of my artwork, it's okay. But I tend to do it in just pencil, and I think folks want to see kind of more colors. They want to see something that looks really like finished and professional. So I don't know. I might end up going on like say DeviantArt and just asking artists if they'd be interested in me using some of their artwork as examples of good world building design or just as kind of backgrounds to the lecture. I don't know. It's something I'm thinking about. Otherwise, maybe I could just release it as almost a podcast, but I don't know. I think with world building, people want to see examples. They kind of want to see like how stylistic choices can affect things. So it's something that's going to take me a little bit of time, and I need to learn how to I need to get better at editing too. So editing video, but it's just something to keep in mind, something to look forward to, and I'm definitely going to do it. It's just I don't know if it's going to happen immediately. So keep an eye out for it. I guess is what that whole thing was. Other than that, we're gonna branch out on the Let's Plays. I'll try to get Strat Mechanic back up and running. It's a shame. I really like the game, and I wish. But if I can't record, what can I do? Describe what happened? No, it's just something that I'll have to deal with, and hopefully I can figure out some kind of fix, some way that will improve it. But for now, I'm just going to have to kind of back away from it a bit and focus on some other games, just because I want to keep producing content. I don't like the idea of, yeah, now people have to wait like a week and a half or something before I put something new up. So I'm thinking like that's probably the best route forward. But you know, if you have any other additional ideas, if you guys want to see something like, I don't know, like just if you have any thoughts on it, let me know. Yeah, just post in the comments and we can try to figure out together. So anyway, I definitely appreciate everyone who's tuning in. We just actually hit 200 views, so and that in 2 weeks, that's pretty amazing. That's a pretty fast climb, so I'm excited. I'd like to get more subscribers. One thing I can do for that is actually, I need to like, there's a couple things that I can do to spruce up the channel, and I think we'll start getting more subscribers at that point. So, yeah, just working along at it. I think I'll do something like comes in there and up here. That's okay. And we'll start building out around it. Like we can build some blacksmiths and stuff, and I might have the mines kind of along this ridge and a little bit of space, and then like some huts for them to live in. And I think adding a little bit, I don't know the radius of unhappiness with buildings. I don't know if like a building that causes unhappiness will cause unhappiness if it's within like a wide area. And I kind of wish that's something that could have added to the game, where like you can track the happiness range of buildings to make happiness, or the unhappiness of buildings to make unhappiness, just so you can tell. Like I'm sure that we could do some testing, you know, like intentionally build a couple of homes here in like a line and see at what point the unhappiness from the mine goes away for the people living in those little villages. But that seems like an awful lot of work for honestly a marginal benefit. So that's kind of my plan, though. I'm going to have like a big stockpile here and a gap between where the mines are. I'm going to put in 2 initially, one for iron, one for coal, because I want to get going on steel tools. And then we'll have a couple of blacksmiths out here as well, and they'll be making most of the steel tools for everybody. And then in here we'll have a market. We might even have like, maybe if we can fit like a little pasture land around here. And then a quarry kind of off in this corner. Because this corner, it's going to be kind of hard to develop it for anything else. Since it's wedged in between this lake and that river. So I think that'll be a good little spot. If we're going to lose some land, I'd rather lose it there than say in the middle of a nice big flat area. So that's my thought on that. Anyway, yeah, we've been talking for quite some time with the game paused, which, you know, I thought I didn't know how long it would take to go into all these plans and schemes, but yeah, just hopefully we'll start getting some more subscribers and build the channel out, and yeah, we'll go on this kind of fun little, you know, it's definitely fun to build up a community around something. So we'll see where it's going. We'll see where things are being, you know, heading. So I've been talking way too long. Let's call this an episode, and yeah, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. I'll have to put in a little subscribe button, I think, just on the players and stuff, and that'll be a little convenient for folks. But yeah, I definitely appreciate the folks who have subscribed. Awesome. And yeah, people are starting to comment, starting to like videos. It's exciting news. So anywho, y'all have a good day, and yeah, I'll probably put out a couple more of these videos fairly soon, and maybe even start working on a new Let's Play series. Just because, I mean, what are we gonna do if the scrap mechanic won't work? It won't work. It's a shame, but it's what we're dealing with. So anyway, toodles.